Good morning, everyone. We're going to be making flour bread this morning for y'all. I got something pretty to show you before I tell you my ingredients, though. This is something I cook to eat with the flour bread. This right here is fatback. This is fat meat. Some people call it side meat. That stuff right there is the skin. That's the fat I'm talking about. I'm talking to city slickers now to know what fatback is. So this is fatback. This is some good eating right here. Now I'm gonna tell y'all the ingredients on this here flour bread. We got Southern Biscuit self-rising flour right here. We're gonna do like 5 ounces of sour cream. We're gonna do a half a recipe this morning on the biscuit. This is like a biscuit mix, but you use it for flour bread too. 1 cup of flour, and we're going to do a half a stick of butter on making this here flour bread up. Okay, first thing we're going to do here is go ahead and grease this pan. You can grease your pan with whatever you want to. I'm putting bacon grease on it. I think it gives it a little more country flavor. I do this. I do butter. I do spray oil, but this right here gives the most flavor as far as a hint of country goodness. Throw some bacon grease on it, but you can use butter, oil, spray oil, Crisco, whatever you got as far as lubricating the pan so stuff don't stick. We're going to go ahead and get our cast iron pan here going. The fire on it, y'all see that there flame, right? Well, propane's a little different than electric. Well, it's a whole lot different. That's low right there. But we're going to put them on about medium right there. Somewhere in there. Just let it start warming up while we're making the biscuits. Okay, y'all, a while ago I said making the biscuits. But we're making flour bread this morning. I make biscuits more than anything. So we're going to dump in our 1 cup of flour. Like I said, this is going to be a half a recipe what I usually do. 1 cup of flour, and now we're going to put in a half a stick of this here butter. And we're going to try to keep it pretty straight. Try to keep it pretty close anyhow. It might not be perfect, but it don't have to be perfect. So this right here, if you don't have one of these fancy contraptions, you can use a fork to cut your butter into your flour. You can mush it like this and cut it up into little bitty pieces. Cut your flour. Because sometimes people don't have all the cooking utensils. I don't have everything, like a highfalutin cook. And you can use this fancier contraption I just showed you. And we're making flour bread right now, y'all. Kind of hard to show it, but in the video, but like you can see the pieces in there, the little pieces of butter. But you get it cut up into the flour. And we're making flour bread. Like I said, this ain't gonna be but 1 cup of flour and half a stick of butter and about 5 tablespoons of sour cream. All right, so that's cut in there enough. That butter's cut in enough right there. Now we're gonna add our 5 ounces of sour cream. Y'all, I try to do these videos. I forget what I'm saying and all this kind of stuff. So I get really confused when I'm just cooking and just doing that without talking. It goes a lot smoother, but when I'm trying to talk and cook, it don't work as good. All right, now we're gonna stir this here together. Stir this here sour cream up, and this flour. Y'all see how it's coming together? This is how you do it. It just comes together and starts making a ball. And you do this here process because it's going to get so where you can knead it. And when you start the kneading process, you got to keep flour on your hands, and you got to keep your dough ball floured to keep it from sticking to your hands. Okay, right now, that is ready right there. So let's push this off this here spoon, and we're gonna get right to knead this stuff. All right, see I got this here flour in my hand. You just take and put a little flour on your hands like that, and you got to get your flour on your dough a little bit. And you just grab you some more flour and sprinkle it in there to keep it from sticking to your hands. And it might take a few goes of sprinkling flour because it depends on how wet you get your dough. Like right now, see that's already a ball. And just remember, you don't want to knead your dough to death. My mama, we're making flour bread. I got to keep this in my mind. My mama told me the first time she ever made biscuits, said she made them up, she cooked them. She said it was so hard her daddy wouldn't eat them, and mess around and throw them in the yard. She said a dog wouldn't even eat them. So don't knead your dough too much, or you'll have a problem, because they're gonna be hard. Okay, now basically that is, you could use this for biscuit dough because it's the same thing. Flour bread, it's ready to go in the pan right there. All right, y'all, I'm just going to show you this for video purposes. I put bacon grease in my other pan. This is not my griddle right here. This is my Lodge pan. This is my Lodge pan. The lady used to keep me, she used to make flour bread, and this is just for demonstration. She didn't put grease in her pan. She would take flour just like this and put flour in the bottom of the pan. And then she would put her flour bread in the pan. Maybe not this much flour. And that's how she would cook her flour bread. She would cook it in there, and when you pull the flour bread out, it would have white flour on it. It would be burnt spots on it. It would be dark brown, and it was just so good. So I'm just telling you this so you'll know this is old-fashioned stuff. Okay, y'all, we're going to get this here flour bread in this pan now. I'm going to rub this here bacon grease around with this here paper towel. Get it all over the pan. Like I said, this is a Lodge cast iron griddle. You could do it in your regular pans, or whatever you want. Now this is that dough ball right here. I'm going to pinch this in half, just for this here purpose. It's a little sticky, so I'm going to put a little more flour on it. All right, so we're going to put this in the pan like this, and then we're going to press it out. And you know, I turned my pan on a while ago to get it warmed up. So y'all hear the sizzle maybe. Okay, it's pressed out. You don't got to press it down real thin because we ain't making pancakes, we're making flour bread. And it's going to rise back up, and you can make it a little thicker than that. But the big key thing is cooking it slow, because if you try to cook it fast, it's going to be doughy in the middle and not done in the middle and burn on the outside. All right, y'all, so I'm going to, I got this other side, you know, it's got bacon grease on it because it's on the pan. But now we're just going to hit the top of this with a little of this bacon grease on this side, so when we flip it, it'll be nice and coated, and it'll have that really good hint of flavor of bacon. Okay, y'all, we've been on this side cooking for about 3.5 to 4 minutes. We're going to try to flip it and see what happens. All right, you see how that looks? That's really light brown. Flour bread is really good with more dark on it than that. But that was so it could have sat there for probably 6 minutes. But that was 3.5, 4 minutes. Look, y'all, this is our kitty cat in the kitchen window looking at us. Okay, y'all, I'm going to turn the burner up a little bit so we can get a little darker, because basically it's done on the inside now. It's been in for about 3 more minutes on this side, and I like flour bread a little darker, so I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. All right, we're going to give that a few more minutes and see what happens. We'll be right back. All right, y'all, we're going to give it a flip back on the other side so y'all can see what it looks like. All right, there's some bitter darkness right there. We're gonna leave it sitting right there because I want to get a little darker. If y'all could, if you could, it'd be nice. We'd really appreciate if y'all could like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, so whenever we have videos come out, y'all get alert. And we sure thank you. All right, we'll give you a look see on the other side now. All right, now that right there is perfect. So we're gonna cut this off, and we're gonna plate it up and show y'all what we got going on. Like with this here flour bread, we usually serve it right out of the pan like this. Like everybody will come in the kitchen and get what they want. I mean, you basically just cut it just like this. You cut it ever how big a piece you want. And like if it's cool enough, you just come in here and break it off. And that's what we do. So we're gonna throw a couple pieces of this here in this here plate. We're gonna show y'all something pretty right this second now. Let's go ahead and throw another piece up here. We're gonna cook more after this here video, y'all. We just wanted to show y'all how to make flour bread. And like I said, this is the same as a biscuit dough, but it's a whole different method of cooking, so it makes it taste a little different than biscuits. We got some of this stuff here. Grandma's molasses. I don't know how much y'all know about that, but we're going to shoot it to it and let y'all see. Y'all mess around and get this here molasses and pour it on this here flour bread. My mama said how they used to do it with biscuits. They'd mess around and take a finger, poke a hole in the biscuit, and mess around and bite that biscuit. That there, it's sure enough country right there. If y'all don't like smacking, when you're smacking, that's when it's sure enough good to you. When anybody tells you not to smack, and I'm not condoning not teaching kids good manners, but when you do away with smacking, you're doing away with some of the enjoyment of the food. This here fatback. You hear that crunch? That's country. That's Southern cooking. North Carolina. Hope y'all enjoy. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope I was able to help you far as knowing how to make flour bread. And we just throw the fat back in there for extra little beauty and deliciousness far as country, Southern living. We sure thank y'all for watching. Have a good day.